Hi everyone. Welcome to the second episode of the LSM Experience, where we talk about stories of people related to LSM in any sort of way, and we sort of try to discover this program because of how unique it is in the Indian landscape. And today we have with us Sujal and Anjali, who are both from the biotech field, and we are going to talk about their experience through this program. They are part of the LSM cohort, so you guys can start by telling a bit about yourself one by one.
My name is Anjali Bakoliya. I'm from Ajmer, Rajasthan. I did my bachelor's from Banasthali Vidyapeeth, Jaipur. And after doing that, I wanted to pursue masters, but for that, I was required to give a GAT-B exam, that is for Graduate Aptitude Test for Biotech. But via that, I did not get the college that I wanted. So then I started preparing for CAT. I was interested in it for a while, and yes, then now I'm here. So
So, I am from Mumbai, and similar lines, biotech, BSc biotechnology from Mumbai itself. And I did not actually want to go for masters, so GAT-B to nahi diya hai. And choosing MBA was like a very uh, fast decision for me. I chose it in my like end semester, so that's how I'm here, I guess.
So, MBA was not a first choice for either of you then.
it became like after a while.
Mm-hmm.
But we used to talk about MBA because one of my very close friends, he was pursuing this, the preparation. Like
Okay.
since his graduation days, he was doing BTech.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew that like it is an option.
Right.
So when a cousin also in my family did her MBA from IIM Lucknow.
Right.
So I knew this option is always on the plate. I
Right.
just had to like explore it, and I did so.
So, how did you come across LSM? Like, how did you find this course?
Um, the form was open. I got a mail, obviously, that you are eligible to apply for LSM as well. So then I searched about the program,
Right.
and it seemed more interesting as compared to PGP
Okay.
to me.
Right.
So then I applied.
Similar stories?
So no, not a similar story actually. uh, Mine is a very generic, so like a cat aspirant story. It's like if you gave MBA, you have in your mind ki you have to get into a good course or a good IIM or a good B school in general. So I was trying for other PGP courses as well, and eventually I stumbled upon LSM. And at first, what is the general reaction everyone has? What is LSM?
Correct.
That was me. So I've studied more about what exactly liberal studies is at first. I got to know why it's important, did a little bit more research, looked for YouTube videos, and then that's how I thought, yeah, this is something very interesting. I would actually like it.
So both of you said you found, the program at least on the surface very interesting. Can you go a bit deeper into where that revelation came from? What piqued your interest?
The thing is, right after 12th, I tried for medical but was not able to get in. So my interest started going towards psychology a bit.
Huh.
But then my parents were hesitant about that, whatever the general perception is usually. So my mother comes from political science background, so she has studied these subjects, and she knows that I've been a sciencey person,
Right.
since I'm small and everything. So she said that you might not be able to handle it, like all those subjects will be like that, all theoretical and everything. You might at times feel that it's not as practical. So then I dropped that plan and then went for biotech because it still had that science interest in me. But then as the master's thing did not happen, and like the full core MBA, that whole mechanized, it was a bit mechanized in my head. So that was a bit scary. And but then I came to know about this course. So it has management courses. I went to the official website, found the subjects. So I searched what will I learn in them. Then sociology is there, psychology we just learned, organizational behavior and business commission and everything. So from there I felt this looks like a good fit for me.
Okay.
So the campus is obviously an add-on.
So my story would be like, I've always been a very performer sort of a person. So I've always liked dance forms, reading stuff about dance, and then that's how I started getting into literature also.
Right.
Then one of the things that caught uh, my eye in this course was readings and literature course. I saw that in the subjects list, readings and literature is there, and again critical reading and writing. So these two things were there. Adding on to that, psychology, sociology. These two things like stuck with me. So I was like, yeah, this is something really interesting, different from other PGB courses. And I've generally wanted to study arts before, but science, I chose science, so now I had no other option to go for it. So now I had the chance. That's why I took it.
Right, but the first thing when people sort of hear about these courses are why would these be important in a management education? So now having gone through a lot of these courses, what do you guys think? Are they really important to a manager?
Yeah. So would you like to go ahead? Okay. So firstly, let's talk about psychology in business. So generally, when you talk about marketing,
Right.
there's a lot of psychology that goes into it. We all know. We've studied it right now. So generally, all the packaging, products, everything is related to psychology. When it comes to sociology, understanding society, because in the end, you are doing business with the society. You need to understand what is going on in the society. That's where sociology comes in.
Fair
So
enough.
these subjects give you a very good understanding about the humans that you are dealing with.
Right.
So if you have a fair enough understanding of these things, I think business would be very easy when it comes to like person to person, I think.
Right. Yeah, so I think what it boils down to is as a business, you're doing business with people. So you need to know people to do business with them. And that's why that's where these courses sort of come in, where you understand the sociology and the psychology between how people act.
Yep.
And then that's where you're able to convince them to act in certain ways.
I think this helps in decision making as well. We might not realize it today, like 100% realize it, but when people will be in managerial roles, see, we are here, as we already mentioned, studying psychology. Like it was in one term, guys. Psychology was in one term, sociology in one term. We read history as well. So it's like here, those subjects are not just psychology or just sociology or just history. Everything. As part of the course, and the professor always try to connect it to the management, to the management world, companies and everything. So like we learned about Tata as well in term one as part of that history wala course. So we get to know why a certain businessman took the decisions they did in that time. So it is like the history of business is there.
Okay.
So that does help in the present scenario. And like everything he mentioned is also there.
Right. Yeah, I think that's fair enough. So what we're gonna do now is I think we can sort of delve into this part of the video which I call sort of like mini segments. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask you guys questions. You guys monologue 1 minute. Right? Okay, so the first one. What's been your favorite course from LSM so far, and what's your one big takeaway from it?
Go ahead.
Okay, so the favorite course, there have been many because the professors are like, some are like really talented. So, but the favorite one, if I have to say, is of course going right now, Social Transformation in India by Matthew sir. He teaches us. So we like all the preconceived notions or biases are being shattered right now. Everybody's collectively. So that is there. It helps us to understand how so many, as I mentioned, biases or the norms that are in place, how they've come into picture, because that is something that we never realize or understand. So that is there. And sociology we learned in the previous term was really great, as I told you, that it tells us about the history, how different societies formed and how they collectively live together, and I mean a lot many things. So if
Fair
number
enough,
one I
yes.
have to choose, then of course that will be. But from term one, my favorite one was organizational behavior. Payal ma'am taught it, Payal Anand. So she explained like really well, and we got to know the different structures within an organizations, and how you're like what is an ideal way to go when you're like deciding things for the organization, and but what is like a practical way as well. So like that was a very good combination. So, yeah.
So Do you want me to choose like an LSM subject or?
No, it can be any course because we are studying all of it, right? It's part
Yeah.
of the program.
So, the one subject that I really like, which I don't know if you guys loved, but marketing management by Professor Priya Narayan. I loved that subject. And apart from that, I really enjoyed Matthew sir's lectures.
Right.
Like, I've been in contact with him for a long time now, and in general, he's a very good person. And in class, he's like breaking all the stereotypes. So I love that class.
Majestic he is.
Fair enough. Okay, next question. What does a day in the life of an LSM student, specifically Anjali or Sujal, look like? What do you do every day?
You go first.
Okay. So, first time Sujal would have been really bad at this, but currently I am really good at my schedule. I wake up at 7:30, go for breakfast, then class, and after class, since I'm generally like lacking sleep, if you guys have watched episode one like Vishwa, so so yeah, I go back to my room and sleep, and then I miss out on some things that I'm about like assignments, which I later on do. So well balanced system, guys.
Okay, I'm sorry, what was the question? How was it term one and now how it is?
No, just how does
how it
a
is right
typical
now.
day in the life
Oh, okay.
of Anjali as part of
Yeah.
an LSM cohort look like?
It changes from term to term, let's be honest. Term one.
Day to day.
Yeah. Day to day is also very different in term one and the last term. But right now it is chill as compared to term one, because in term one you come here and you realize like you're amongst so many different people, and that imposter syndrome kind of thing was very big for me, that oh my god, people are so like they're better than me, blah blah blah. But as you go on ahead, so the days right now it's not as hectic as it used to be in term 1 and term 2.
Mhm.
But the schedule also changes, so I'm able to be on time for assignments and everything. That was a bit difficult to handle in term 1, but it's okay now. I have like a great set of friends here, and lectures, professors are really good. I'm able to appreciate the value that the institute is adding in my life. So it's just normal going to class, coming back, doing assignments, catching up with friends once in a while, and yeah.
Fair enough. Okay.
She misses out breakfast. That much I
Oh,
know.
me too. But yeah, okay. So, tell me about one very interesting interview experience that you had. Could be an interview for an admission or for an SIP, whatever it may be, and what something that you would have learned from it.
Okay. So I would talk about the LSM interview itself, the admission interview. So my interview was taken by the current chairperson of CARE, which is the placements committee.
Mhm.
So this interview it started off really different from the other interviews. There were paintings in the room,
Mhm.
like right behind them, and they asked me, what meaning can you derive through the paintings?
Hmm.
So I'll tell you what the paintings were. They were just a hibiscus black and white painting, hibiscus flower.
Right.
What do you generally derive from it? It's a flower. So, but yeah, you had to make things up. They were like, it was generally them trying to judge how can you come up with things on the spot.
Mhm.
And that, apart from that, they really asked me about a lot of my background. Surprisingly, they knew a lot about biotech also. So yeah, one thing I took away from that interview was uh, they the interview was very focusing on those topics that you will not generally see in a PGP interview, I would say. It was something like talking about queer people, talking about the LGBTQ, talking about minorities generally.
Mhm.
So these things they actually covered in the interview,
Mhm.
and that would be my takeaway from the interview.
Hmm.
Okay, so my interview experience, it would be the first interview that I gave, because it's
Mhm.
like very special. Kozhikode interviews in itself is very special, obviously, but the first one was for Lucknow ABM program, and I was not at all prepared because it was literally in January 23rd, I think. So, yeah, by that time I had not prepared a lot. Very underconfident in everything, seeing work-ex people walking around me in their suit and everything. And you could just look at them and realize, yeah, that's a work-ex person. But okay. So finally went in for the interview. They asked basic questions, okay, because it was an agri program. So they asked about agriculture and everything. But towards the end of the interview, in the last 5 minutes, it was like a rapid fire round. Ki, whom did you come with for the interview? Where are you staying? What did you have for breakfast? When are you going back? Which train did you come in? So I was able to answer everything because I was the one who did everything. That was also first time for me. That booked everything by myself, hotel, and like I looked after everything. And my mother was also there with me, obviously, but she was there as a friend, as a proper friend. Seriously. So that is like very special experience. But if I talk about Kozhikode interview, it started off really well. Like I was just standing outside the interview room talking to some guy. He got in somewhere, he was happy and all. So that helped me ease my anxiety okay, before the interview. I literally entered the room laughing. So and, as soon as I entered, sir asked me, who took the interview for LSM, that what were you talking outside with that guy? So like that was like his way of making
Breaking the
everything.
ice.
Yeah, exactly. So that was really fun. But as the interview went along, a little bit few questions were there that I was not able to answer. But I remembered one thing, that keep smiling during the interview. I don't think I did that in the last 2-3 interviews, and I just remembered it. I don't know how. And I did do that, and by the end, even I felt like the interview was not that great, but I walked out like a pretty confident person. It's okay, it's fine. I cried after the interview. That's a whole different story, but I'm here, so it's fine.
Oh, pro tip to people watching: remember the CM of your state, please.
That's fair enough. Okay. Okay, we'll end the rapid fire round now. We'll start talking a bit more about LSM as a program. So, we talked about how your perceptions were before coming in, but now we're 3 terms in, right? So, how do you feel that perceptions has changed? Has it improved? What are your thoughts about the program now that we are almost an year into the program?
Yeah, so my perceptions were always good about the program, because I would not like to start anything on a negative connotation. So, but regardless of that, it has improved as we have gone into like more terms, second and third. The cohort is really good. When they say that they actually handpick students, they mean it. I did not used to believe it in term one. But now that we are in term 3, we did a massive play in second term by the end of the second term. So it is actually true. They are actually handpicking you. The diversity thing that they talk about. Yes, guys, in your interview, if they ask you why do you think we are focusing so much on diversity, be ready with a good answer. That will help. So what was I saying? I'm sorry.
The LSM perception.
Yeah. So yes, the people in the batch really matter. They are good. The professors are good. The campus, as I always say, it is an add-on. So my experience by far has been good.
So, my experience would be like the moment you got in, now so you had to accept it. Now you are in LSM. The first time I was not really ready to like explore things. I was just there because now I'm here. But eventually, as it went on, as first term, second term happened, the things that I had in mind about LSM, like everything was really, really great when it like when terms were ending. You could see how much growth there was.
Right.
I
Okay.
did not know things before, and now when I look back, there's a lot more things that I am like very careful about. You get more sensitive towards things and also more inclusive in that term. So these things are something that I got from these terms, and I think that is why LSM is really, really important for a person.
To extend on his point, MBA from LSM course doesn't cut you off from the world. It doesn't make you look just on the business aspect of things. You stay connected to the real world, which it's my personal opinion, does not happen in a core MBA program. It's like properly, like all the business aspects of things. We forget the human element of it. In this course, you stay connected to that, and it's just beautiful. Matlab, that's literally the only word I would use. So, and it is practical. It's not some poetic version of the course. No, it is. I'm being honest, guys.
So with the course evolving in this way, the human element way, but the world evolving in distancing the human element, where do you think this course places on the future? Where with the advent of AI and especially as it comes to being managers, it's now is the time it's getting integrated in our lives more than ever. So where do you think LSM places there?
I think since there's a lot of technological advancements happening, and most of the work is generally happening through machines, and we are getting used to it now.
Right.
It's very important in this era to focus on the human element. You tend to, if something's really efficient, you tend to use it more. In this case, technology. Now you are forgetting the part that actually was there before, the humans.
Right.
So LSM actually makes you focus on that part of it. So
Yeah.
in future, I think LSM would be the next big thing, because humans are always going to be there.
Right.
You need to pay attention to that, and with humans comes a lot of things, emotions, feelings. That is what LSM teaches you how to deal with.
Yeah, I think that is a very good part to focus on because with the inclusion of AI, the kind of decisions we will make as managers will differ 10 years down the line than the kind we do now, where those efficiency based decisions might come from AI, but that human element can only come from managers, and that's where this program fits in so well into the future.
Yep.
Yeah, what I would say about this is actually high time that we focus on the human element of things, because even if, like now, if we don't, then it's gone, guys. Yeah. So
That is it.
yeah, I think he covered everything in this question. So
Fair enough. Okay, I think we can end this almost like pretty much the last question. Oh no, a couple of questions actually. What for prospective recruiters or prospective people who are trying to get into the program? What do you think represents an LSM student? What qualities, right? So, what do you think an LSM student has that a typical MBA student doesn't?
I think more mindfulness as compared to maybe the other like other students from the other courses. A strong sense of ethics, I would say, and but at the same time being practical as well. Like it's not like we're on the extreme ends of things. No, there is a very perfect balance. We are not, LSM students are not stuck in their ways. We are always open to ideas, even when we are working on our group projects, and even when you're working on something big, like the whole class has to do something collectively. Everybody is really flexible, and as I mentioned earlier, and I will mention it again, more mindful of other people, and those are the people that thrive in long term. People who are rigid, set in their ways, it is today they might think that, okay, I got a big company, I'm set for life. No, you might struggle there. Okay. And you might struggle after that as well. You might not fit in. So fitting in is something that is like it is really like, even if you don't have that quality before coming here, you will get that. So yeah, like that's what I think about it.
For a prospective LSM student that's coming to get in here, like I think most of the things that she covered. One more thing would be just be aware of what is happening around you, like generally in society. LSM students, one thing I've observed is they know what is happening around you. They are generally aware of things. They are very inclusive of things. So these are the qualities that generally I see in LSM students, which is different from PGP students, I think personally. So yeah, I think that is one of the qualities that you need to be an LSM student.
Right. I think fair enough. Yeah. So we can end this with a final question, which is a similar questions along the lines what we are talking about. But if there's just one major thing that would differentiate this program as a whole, whether it comes to the professors, the courses, the students, what would it be for you? The one biggest thing that is a major differentiator.
Okay, so the one key takeaway that I have right now in my head is, as you go along with the program, by every term you will realize that the third thing you learned previously was important. It is never going to be okay, the term is over, I'm done with the subject, be it a technical subject like marketing, operations we're studying right now, strategic management. With that, that is all that is obviously helpful, and you will carry it along with you. But the liberal studies subjects that was speaking about, you will realize that okay, OB you learn in term 1, you are actually carrying that. It will come out in the other lectures. Maybe in sociology lecture it will come out, or creative critical reading writing that we're studying right now. There it will come out. So as you go along with the course, you realize everything makes sense when you look at the whole big picture. So yes, I don't see. I'm not in other course, so I cannot really make a very make very big differences. Like make a list. But this is something, as I said, the mindfulness, the awareness part of it. And one more thing that we learned recently in one of the courses was, professor said that we might think that the business decisions don't come from an emotional aspect, that no, it's all logical, it's all rational. But no, when you read about the business leaders, when you read about, for example, as I mentioned, data, you will come to the realization that everything came from some inspiration they had, some motivation, human element. The emotional aspect is always there, and will LSM as a program helps you understand that, realize that, and inculcate the same quality, that same awareness part in you. So yes.
Yeah. So let's just summarize her answer, and let's say the human element is what is different from PGP.
Shout out Vishwa.
Yeah. Yeah, that is it.
Yeah. So I think we can end it there. I think that's a good conversation from our two biotech people that we have as a part of a batch. So that was the second episode, guys. I hope us and Mr. Groot were entertaining for you and you liked the video. So thank you so much. We will catch you.
Don't forget Harry.
Oh yeah, Harry's here too this time. Yeah. So we will catch you on the next one. Bye bye.